Think crowded cities are the norm? Wait till you see these places with almost no people. Massive areas of land. Scream at the top of your lungs and literally no one would hear you. Forget traffic jams and long lines. In these places, you're more likely to see a wild animal than another human being. It's insane to think that while millions are packed into places like Tokyo, New York, these incredible landscapes are practically empty. We're going on a global tour to find the most deserted, isolated, and mind-blowingly empty spots on the entire planet. Today, I'm going to show you 5 places that have population densities so low, it's almost unbelievable. Antarctica, Greenland, Mongolia, Western Sahara, Namibia. We'll jump from the absolute coldest place on Earth to some of the hottest, most unforgiving deserts. I've got the world map right here. We'll pinpoint each location. Then we dive into some insane photo tours of each place. I'm talking about places with more square miles than people. It's going to be an epic journey into the vast, silent corners of our world. So, get ready. We're about to explore the ultimate definition of getting away from it all. These aren't just remote villages. These are entire countries and continents nearly untouched by human settlement. We're counting down 5 of the most sparsely populated places on Earth. And trust me, number 3 is going to absolutely blow your mind. Are you ready to see what the world looks like without us? Let's do this. All right, first up, we are going to the most extreme, most isolated, and coldest place on the entire planet, Antarctica. This isn't just a country with a few empty spots. This is an entire continent that's 98% covered in a sheet of ice. That's over a mile thick. Think about that for a second. An entire continent, bigger than Europe, with virtually 0 permanent residents. Nobody is born here. Nobody retires here. It's like a different planet. The only people you'll find in this massive frozen wasteland are scientists, support staff, and even they don't stay forever. They come for a few months, maybe a year, living in these high-tech research stations that look like something out of a sci-fi movie. In the summer, the population might swell to a few thousand people scattered across bases that are hundreds of miles apart. But in the winter, the continent plunges into total darkness, and temperatures drop to levels that can freeze your skin in seconds. The population drops to under 1,000. Imagine living in a place where your nearest neighbors are penguins, and the closest town is 1,000 miles away across a treacherous frozen ocean. The sheer scale of the emptiness is impossible to wrap your head around. It's just ice, wind, silence. The photos are insane. You see endless white plains, massive glaciers crashing into the sea, tiny little research stations, the last outpost of humanity. It's beautiful, but also terrifyingly empty. To kick off our list, we have a continent where the population is basically a rounding error. It's a place dedicated to science, peace, owned by no one, home to almost no one. Antarctica is the ultimate example of a place with almost no people, and it sets the bar incredibly high for the rest of our list. Okay, from the South Pole, we are flying all the way to the north to our second spot, Greenland. Greenland. You might think Greenland is just a big island, but you have no idea how massive it is. It is the world's largest island that isn't a continent. Over 80% of it is covered by a gigantic ice sheet. It's so big that if its ice sheet melted, sea levels worldwide would rise by over 20 feet. That is absolutely insane. The population density is one of the lowest in the world. Imagine your country having literally no roads connecting its major towns. That's Greenland. To get from one town to another, you have to take a boat, a helicopter, or a plane. The interior of the island is completely inaccessible. A silent, frozen world. The pictures from here are breathtaking. You see these brightly colored houses clustered together in a small bay, surrounded by colossal mountains and icebergs floating in the water. It's a constant battle between humanity and nature. These communities are incredibly isolated, facing some of the harshest conditions on Earth. They live off the sea, hunting and fishing. Chapter 3. This next one is going to blow your mind. We are leaving the ice and snow behind and heading to the heart of Asia. Number 3 is Mongolia. This country is huge. It's the 18th largest country in the world, bigger than Texas, California, Montana combined. But here's the unbelievable part. Its population is only about 3.3 million people. That makes it the most sparsely populated sovereign nation on the planet. For every square mile in Mongolia, there are only about 5 people. Compare that to a place like New Jersey, which has over 1,200 people per square mile. A huge portion of the population lives in the capital city, Ulaanbaatar. Once you leave the city, the country opens up into these vast treeless plains called the steppe. You can drive for hours and hours and not see a single person, a single house, or even a single fence. This is the land of Genghis Khan and the legendary Mongol Empire. And for centuries, a huge part of the population has been nomadic, living in traditional tents called gurs or yurts, and moving their herds of livestock across the endless grasslands. It's a way of life that has existed for thousands of years. They live in harmony with the land, in a space that feels infinite. The landscape is just rolling hills, massive skies, and silence. The photos from Mongolia look like they're from another time. You see a lone rider on horseback, a single gur sitting in a vast valley, or massive herds of sheep and goats dotting the green and golden hills. It's a place where the concept of personal space is taken to the absolute extreme. Mongolia is a country defined by its emptiness, a nation of nomads living in one of the biggest, most open spaces left on Earth. You won't believe it until you see it. Chapter 4. Okay, for number 4, we are going to a place that many people have never even heard of. We're heading to the northwest coast of Africa, to a region called Western Sahara. This place is basically all desert. We're talking about the Sahara Desert, one of the hottest and driest places on Earth. The territory is huge, about the size of the state of Colorado, but its population is only around 500,000 people. The emptiness here is on another level. Most of the region is just sand, rock, and more sand. Huge tracts of this land are completely uninhabited, controlled by blistering heat and a lack of water. The population that does exist is clustered in a few towns along the Atlantic coast, like Layun, or are part of nomadic groups, the Sahrawi people, who have traditionally roamed the desert for centuries with their camels. Life here is incredibly tough and has been shaped by the extreme environment. The coastline is over 1,000 kilometers long, and for most of it, it's just the desert meeting the ocean. It feels like the edge of the world. Surreal images and incredible resilience define this stark, empty land. Chapter 5. For our final destination, we are staying in Africa, but heading south to another country known for its spectacular and empty landscapes, Namibia. This country is famous for having some of the most stunning and oldest deserts in the world, including the Namib Desert, the Kalahari Desert. Namibia is a massive country, more than twice the size of Germany, but its population is only about 2.5 million people. After Mongolia, it has the second lowest population density of any sovereign country. What makes Namibia so empty? The environment is incredibly harsh. Namib Desert, iconic towering red sand dunes. Kalahari Desert, arid scrub and red sands. And then you have one of the most famously desolate places on Earth, the Skeleton Coast. Whale bones scattered on shore. Shipwreck remains. It's treacherous and foggy. Desert dunes plunge into the cold Atlantic Ocean. Outside of a few cities and towns like the capital, Windhoek, the country is a vast wilderness. You can travel for hundreds of miles through landscapes that look like they belong on Mars. It's a photographer's dream. The sheer scale is striking. You can stand on top of a giant sand dune, Dune 45, Big Daddy. It's both humbling and awe-inspiring. Sossusvlei, deep red sands. Deadvlei, dead ancient trees. Etosha, vast salt pans teeming with wildlife. Skeleton Coast, eerie fog-shrouded shipwrecks. It's a country where nature is completely in charge. Namibia is proof that a place can be almost devoid of people but full of life and incredible beauty. Outro. And that's a wrap. 5 of the most mind-blowingly empty places on the entire planet.